This was mid, somebody says. These used to be really good. This comes off just as extremely arrogant. Like, these are his fans, supposedly. This is X. This is his home. Hi, everyone. JJ here. Welcome back. Well, Elon Musk's Tesla Master Plan 4. Going to have a look at that today. He released it on X. And if you're thinking Master Plan 4, but he hasn't finished the previous plans yet, you'd be right about that. And this does seem like, and articles, people have pointed this out, seems like chatbot, AI chatbot output from Grok, of course. It wouldn't surprise me if it actually is, or if it was run through Grok. Seemed like you could take 30 seconds and do this. And even his most ardent fans are saying, well, where's the rest of it? Or, we know this already. Is there more detail on this? Let's have a look at it. I'm not going to go through it all. It's kind of pointless. Even people who follow this channel will know everything in it because it hasn't been a secret. He's talked about it before. It's just stuff that he brings up in interviews. There's nothing really new here. But let's watch this video and I'll show you what I mean. It's kind of like advertising. When they say Tesla doesn't do advertising, well, they've started to. And this is like a corporate ad. It's slick. It's short. It's a minute 30, but at the end of it, we'll see what the real statement is. It's sustainable abundance is what he's saying. Sustainable abundance. That buzzword comes up again and again, and it's pretty laughable when this is the guy that earlier this year, was buddy joined up with Donald Trump, gave him $270 million or more, to somebody who is the opposite of that, who's for fossil fuels. He's canceling renewable projects all over the place. And Elon, at the same time as doing this, is talking about far-right parties in Europe and, being political in that way and joining up with people and parties that are the opposite of sustainable abundance. So the contradiction is crazy. Anyway, let's look at this video. I've been doing less videos about Elon and Tesla lately, trying to broaden it to new subjects, new topics, because frankly, it is getting a bit boring. And, even the stock market didn't like this. Supposedly, this was the latest new Master Plan 4, but look what's happened. The stock market sent the stock down. So, as I said, I don't think many people actually believe Elon's BS at this point, but let's have a listen to this anyway.
Humans are tool makers, and at Tesla, we are builders of physical products at scale that make life better for all. We have been working tirelessly to create the foundation for a technological renaissance through the development of electric vehicles, energy products, and humanoid robots.
Okay, so I'll give them that. I was with Tesla, I was with Elon in the early days, scaling electric cars globally. I mean, to be fair, he did do that. He really helped do that and made them popular. Now there's a lot of competition. The margins have gone down. The competition is definitely here. Now they're not pivoting, let's just say expanding to, to be generous into robots, and not everybody's convinced. And a lot of people say they don't even want one. Energy storage, yes, Elon did say that would be bigger than vehicles one day, and that's looking very likely because the number of vehicles they're selling is not going well. And so it's all about robots and robo-taxi. It seems like they're actually more pivoting to robots, saying there's going to be billions of robots because robotaxi hasn't been a great success so far. Despite the evangelical saying how great it is, it really, has some issues, really. I don't think people are really convinced. And surveys have come out saying people don't actually want it in the US. They don't actually want autonomous vehicles. Is it like that, Steve Jobs thing? People didn't know they wanted an iPhone until it was available. But people who are even buying Tesla cars, they're having trouble getting people to try FSD supervised, as I understand it.
This next chapter will be on an even grander scale than we have yet to see. We are building the products and services that bring AI into the physical world. We are combining our manufacturing capabilities with our autonomous prowess to accelerate global prosperity.
Accelerating global prosperity. So there's a big aims. It's like this future utopia, which is what reviews and articles have said about this. He's selling another utopia, a tech utopia, like kind of like the going to Mars, colony on Mars, which it seems pretty fanciful given where they're up to at the moment. His predictions of it being soon, but that on Mars it's like the worst possible environment, worse than the worst conditions on Earth. The soil's poisonous. There's no air. It's going to be so difficult. But as long as you create some renderings of how great it's going to be, it's going to happen soon, right?
We are building a safer, cleaner, and more enjoyable world for all. We call this sustainable abundance.
What's the happiest future you can imagine? One which there's sustainable abundance for all.
A sustainable abundance for all. The Tesla diner. I mean, is that about sustainable abundance? I don't know. We've got burgers and hot dogs and electric cars, I suppose, or a charging station. But really, if you really look at the actions, what's Elon been doing in the last few weeks? He's been promoting Grok, his AI, XAI, with anime characters, dubious, questionable AI characters. What age is Arnie, the AI character on there, which there was a lot of criticism on there when he posted that. There was actually no positive comments on there, even from his ardent fans. And on the other end, we've got the data center in Memphis. I've made a video about how there are 30 plus gas generators pumping out toxic fumes on the Memphis community. I mean, what is sustainable abundance about that? Is it the promise that AI is going to solve climate problems, solve all the problems of the world, and we just have to get there? God in a box, as somebody put it the other day that I was listening to. I thought that was pretty good. Really, Silicon Valley's trying to create God in a box with this AI. There's so many billions of dollars being pumped into that, and that's really what Elon is going on to, ride that bubble of AI, and it really is turning into a bubble. Sam Altman acknowledges that. Look, I'm not going to read all this out. I'll show you. It says sustainable abundance at the end of that first introductory section. Talks about this utopia, but pretty vague. There's not a lot of detail in here, which his evangelicals even say. There's lots of comments at the bottom about this. Where's the detail? And he does say more to come. I mean, growth is infinite. So growth going even out into the solar system, that's SpaceX, and going to Mars, that's infinite growth. So the resources on Earth, it doesn't matter because there are resources in the solar system. Innovation removes constraints. Technology solves tangible problems. As I said, it does seem like it's kind of AI generated, right down to the kind of punctuation it uses, which AI does generate. So it seems like maybe they ran it through Grok at the end, or maybe for the whole thing. I don't know. Because there's a lot of that. It's just like AI speak, chatbot speak. But autonomy must benefit all of humanity. I mean, there's good things to say, but it is corporate speak. It's just like you go to a website and read a corporation's values or what they want, and it's becoming like that. Tesla has become big and very corporate, and their leader is off on tangents doing all kinds of things, and some questionable things that don't seem to match up with sustainable abundance, I have to say. And these are our slave robots. That's the hope. Everybody wants a slave robot, right? Which incidentally has a black face. Did anybody notice that? Interesting. Okay, so let's look at what some people are saying here. So this is one of his most ardent fans, Dave Lee. Hopefully we can get more details on Master Plan Part 4. And somebody said here, oh, look, it's me. It's shallow marketing. What did you expect from him these days? Here's somebody, Stephen Mark Ryan from Solving the Money Problem. My arch nemesis is Australian from this part of the world. It was inevitable, so hyped. So I was looking at his video on it, and basically for the first few minutes he was saying, I told you so, I told you so. And then somebody in the comments was saying, well, Elon has been saying this for ages. Dirty Tesla says, hey, Grok, summarize this in one sentence. Well, is this what we need to do now? I mean, it's not very long and it's pretty basic. And where's the part where I get a refund for FSD you failed to deliver? Somebody says. This was mid, somebody says. These used to be really good. This comes off just as extremely arrogant. Maybe try successfully making 2 million cars first before talking about eliminating global scarcity. Like, these are his fans, supposedly. This is X. This is his home. I was expecting on here to see a lot of evangelicals saying, wow, how amazing. But no. And then this person says, where's the plan, though? So there's quite a lot of criticism here, and we get to see the normal critics here, like on electric. Fred Lambert says Tesla releases Master Plan Part 4, a smorgasbord of vague AI promises. This is actually in that article, but I'm going to read it out here. Fred's kind of giving no F's at this point about what he says in criticism. Tesla is lost as a company. This is a bunch of utopic nonsense, complete with AI abundance buzzwords that Grok could have easily written. And suspiciously, maybe Grok did write it. Elon's first two master plans were straightforward, featuring clear, actionable steps and well-defined product roadmap. So this is going back years. Fred was a supporter, one of the evangelicals way back. In comparison, this is opium meant for Tesla shareholders to get their fix of potential infinite growth as an AI stock. It's not real. I mean, I do agree with this. What he's saying here, this is aimed firmly at corporate and shareholders to keep it going. Everyone can see the value in an affordable humanoid robot capable of autonomously performing useful tasks. You don't need to sell people on the weird utopic future around it. Start by demonstrating that you can create such a robot. Indeed, where is it? We have seen no evidence of that yet. We've seen really teleoperated robots. There are other companies producing much more impressive robots at this point. Didn't the head of Optimus leave recently? So, they seem to be floundering a bit. All of Tesla Optimus robots demonstrations have been supported by humans remotely controlling them. Most recently, Tesla had Optimus serving popcorn to guests in its diner in Los Angeles. It worked for a few hours on the first day during that marketing opening, the marketing fanfare. And the robot has reportedly been offline for a month since the restaurant's launch. I know I might sound like a hater, but I don't care. As I said, giving no F's at this point. Tesla is not a company that is about to deliver a future of sustainable abundance. I mean, we could have said that years ago when there was a lot of optimism around and they had scaled electric cars. And even though it's not so glamorous, the energy storage, I mean, to be fair, I think that's good and it is scaling. But really, this robots and robotaxi stuff is far more questionable. But the value of the company around that $1 trillion mark seems very important to keep it there and keep it growing. Tesla is a company that did the impossible and significantly accelerated the world's transition to electric transportation. Yes, I agree with that. Then its CEO went nuts. Sales started to go down, earnings began to drop, and to maintain a nonsensical stock price, the CEO decided to ride the AI bubble. That's about it. So what he didn't mention there was, of course, going into far-right politics, joining up with Trump, being very political, which started to make him unpopular. You wouldn't think that if you were on X, because he's got a lot of followers on there. It is his propaganda machine, definitely. And this is the headline here in TechCrunch. Tesla's fourth master plan reads like LLM-generated nonsense. So that's the chatbot nonsense. I do agree with that. And at a high level, it is about how the company wants to lead the charge into planet-wide adoption of humanoid robots and sustainable energy. Again, not matching up with being buddy-buddy with Donald Trump, who just hates this stuff. I mean, how was that going to help apart from, getting regulation to magically go away? Was that the hope? It didn't work, and then they got into a fight, and it's all gone pear-shaped. But the post lacks an important building block of plans, specifics, Even CEO Elon Musk agrees in one of his only posts about the plan since it was published on Monday, sandwiched in between a steady stream of transphobic and immigration panic. He agreed it was fair to criticize the lack of specifics and said the company will add more. Yes, indeed. His posts, the stream of transphobic and immigration panic, this doesn't match up with sustainable abundance. Like if he was, still liberal minded, maybe a lot more people would be with him on this, quite honestly. And this is another article from Ars Technica, one of the other tech Bibles, really, going back years. Tesla has a new master plan. It just doesn't have any specifics. Did an AI write this? Because it reads like an AI wrote this. So a lot of people in agreement there. And in CNBC, we have Musk looks past Tesla's sales slump, says 80% of value will come from Optimus. So this is the line now. So really not looking good for cars. Remember a time when, well, I certainly remember a time when a lot of investors, retail investors in particular, were saying that Tesla's going to grow 30% a year at least. At one point, it was 50% a year for the foreseeable future to get to 20 million cars. And then Elon started talking about autonomy. It's got to work. All the value of Tesla's got to be in autonomy. It is. Tesla's worth zero unless we solve autonomy. And it's not looking so great at the moment. Now he's talking about 8 billion robots. And now 80% of the value of the company is coming from Optimus, he said. So many, many trillions. But so you get the feeling a lot of his fans even are starting to question that a lot, especially because the stock price at this point really hasn't gotten anywhere for 4 years. But if we get to later on in this year and it's around the same price, we're only talking not beating the S&P 500. So there is kind of some desperation in here because the Tesla stock price and investors being with him, with the company, it really does matter. All right, so what do you think about this? Let me know about anything that I've said here, but about the master plan, the so-called master plan, which is very thin on detail, I think, and seems like more of a marketing video and a short marketing, I don't know, output from Grok, maybe. I don't know. Let me know what you think about this. I really like to know. This is the artwork that I've been doing with the thumbnails from this channel. Got well over 500, over 550 now, so I've got a lot to play with to make 2D artwork. There's one on the wall behind me here. Do go and see the related video that I'm going to put on screen now, and a subscribe link as always. So do subscribe if you want to get more videos like this in the future and on other topics as well. Have a look at some of the things I've been doing lately. And thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one.